time, I'd like to call this meeting of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders to order. Please rise for a moment of silence. Dennis, salute the flag, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Margaret.
Notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-10, has been complied with and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Belante. Freeholder Delina. Freeholder Polos.
Yes.
Freeholder Rios. Freeholder Tamaro.
Here.
Freeholder Valenti. Here. Freeholder Director Rafano.
Here. Proclamations.
We have two this evening. The first is recognizing September 2012 as National Recovery Month in Middlesex County, and the second is recognizing October 2012 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Middlesex County.
I believe Freeholder Valenti is going to present the first proclamation.
Good evening. September is National Recovery Month. Celebrates people in recovery from mental and substance use disorders and promotes a message that recovery is always possible. It is critical that we educate our community to understand that behavioral health disorders are treatable and that by treating them like other chronic diseases, we can improve the quality of life for the entire community. This proclamation is being presented tonight, supporting this year's theme, Join the Voices of Recovery. It's worth it. And the proclamation will be accepted by Timothy Miller, the chair of the Middlesex County Local Advisory Committee on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse.
Good evening. My name is Timothy Miller. I am a member of LACADA as a member in recovery. Real quick, about myself. 5 years ago, I was the vice president of a major television network, and I went through a pretty traumatic, life-changing event. That was 5 years ago. 3 years ago, I was living in a home without electricity, in foreclosure, with a razor blade in my wrist. And I had given up all chance for anything of a substantial life, and I was hopeless. I entered this beautiful world of recovery in 2009, July, and I can tell you I stand here today in over 3 years recovering of alcoholism, and I joined LACADA as a member in recovery when I was going through treatment at a treatment facility here in Middlesex County. I went on through these 3 years to get my master's degree in addiction counseling. I'm now employed as a counselor, as a drug addiction counselor at a facility here in New Brunswick. I can tell you my life is more substantial, more valuable now, because one of the lines of this proclamation talks about whereas real stories of long-term recovery can inspire others to ask for help to improve their own lives, the lives of their families, and the entire community. I speak about recovery every single day, not only just my own life, but for 65 other patients and clients at the facility I work at. My life has become recovery. I own recovery. I have a passion for it. God has given me a gift to spread that word, and life is better than it's ever been. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank the Board of Chosen Freeholders for the support and the funding for LACADA, which is an awesome organization that continues to represent this county and give alternatives to measures of alcohol and drug abuse. And I also want to thank the members of IDRC. I don't know if you're here, but I really appreciate everything that IDRC does for this. And I'm here to just let you know I thank you for everything, and life is wonderful in recovery, and it's the best it's ever been. So thank you so much.
Member of resolutions?
We were scheduled to adopt resolutions recognizing the following individuals for their accomplishments during the 2012 London Olympics. but the director has asked me to reschedule that for a future meeting so that some of them may be present. We heard from one of the Olympians this evening. So that's why the late change in plans.
Okay. All right, on to correspondence.
Each freeholder has been provided with a list of correspondence received by the clerk's office since our last meeting. This correspondence will be kept on file in the office of the clerk of the board for reference.
Any motion to accept the correspondence?
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, second by Freeholder Tamara. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Now it's time for reports of freeholders. Freeholder H. James Paulus.
Thank you very much, Director. First, and I know others will talk about the Greenway, I just want to say that I thought it was a wonderful event, one of the nicest events that we've had as far as a public announcement goes. And I want to particularly mention Freeholder Tamara, who I know the Director and the other members of the board will agree, really championed this thing long before he became a freeholder for some time. And so you really deserve a lot of credit championing that for Edison Township, Charlie. It came to fruition as a result of a lot of hard work and dedication. So congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you and to the rest of the board for their support for that initiative. Within the last few days, we've had some activity in public safety. We had a wonderful event a couple of days ago at the Edison Diner here in Middlesex County, unveiling a new initiative for the Move Over Law. It is a law in the state of New Jersey that's actually been on the books for some time, but one that was never really looked at or paid attention to until a state trooper, Mark Castellano, was killed along the side of the road in Howell Township. His mother, a woman, a wonderful woman, a very passionate, warm woman who just really has a lot of energy on this issue, took up the fight for the Move Over Law because she felt that if people had obeyed that law and moved over properly, her son would still be alive today. It brought to light the safety of emergency service personnel throughout the state of New Jersey, not only police officers and state troopers, but firemen, rescue squad, emergency service, volunteers, tow truck operators who are responding to calls. Anyone along the side of the road is a potential victim if cars do not give them enough leeway and freedom to stand there. The Move Over Law requires that a car move over one lane or slow down below the speed limit to make it safer for those on the side of the road. And again, his mom believes that had that law been followed, her son would still be alive today. The event was well attended by the Department of Highway Traffic Safety. We had officers here, troopers from Troop C, Lieutenant Colonel Setner was here representing the Colonel. And of course, our public safety committees were here as well. The departments were there, and I want to thank all of them who participated at the event. It kicked off a statewide initiative, so I'm particularly proud that Middlesex County was at the forefront of a statewide initiative utilizing placemats and coloring pages that you would normally find in a diner or restaurant. It depicts the Move Over Law. They will be distributed to 450 restaurants and diners throughout the state of New Jersey. 500,000 prints were created. We did this in partnership with an organization that probably heretofore was not well known called Pan Gregorian Enterprises, although I know my good friend George Pavridis knows Pan Gregorian. It is a large Greek-American independent restaurant association that represents nearly 900 restaurants and diners throughout New Jersey. So we want to thank them for their participation in helping partner to make this a reality. We think the visibility that the law will get will really help save lives in the future. Also participated yesterday in a State of the State forum on the economy at Middlesex County College. It was a great open forum to discuss issues. I had an opportunity to talk about what we're doing here in Middlesex County and what some of our visions and thoughts are for the future. There were representatives there from various constituency groups, small business, labor, etc. It was a very interesting interaction and a great opportunity to, again, showcase some of the things that we're doing in New Jersey. This week we'll be unveiling our new traffic safety video, and with the director's permission, I think we're going to be presenting it to the board not on October 4th, but at the following freeholder meeting.
Yes.
It is a 15-minute traffic safety video. The lead star on that is our freeholder director who does the opening for it. It is for K through 4, kindergarten through 4th grade. And we're really proud of what the end product is. It will be presented to elementary school kids throughout the county, perhaps even at some point beyond our county, to showcase the essentials of bicycle safety, pedestrian safety, and bus safety, school bus safety. So it's really fits a targeted audience, and I think you'll find the video interesting, or at least we hope that you do. Also, this past week, I had an opportunity to attend an organizational meeting of the Sexual Violence Prevention Coalition, and I mention it today because I think that this is a group of individuals who does an awful lot of good work, much of which cannot be showcased or talked about because they deal with private issues of sexual violence and domestic violence. So the heart of what they do certainly isn't talked about or showcased or advertised, but what they do is enormously critical, and I've certainly made a commitment to that organization that we're going to do what we can to try to promote the message of what they do so that we can give more people access to the services that they can provide. We've talked about some interesting ways of doing that through web access and creating a video, and being able to do it in such a way where people can go online who need help, who may be concerned about becoming public or going to someone to talk about it. But if they can go someplace privately and be able to gather information for those resources, we hope that they'll be able to access the resources that we've made available. So my commitment is to that group to try to help them promote the great work that they do, and I certainly learned a lot at the meeting that we had just a week ago. The last item, Director, is an event that's coming up on September 22nd. I hope the members of the board will be able to attend. It is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I want to give credit to Joe Krizza. Joe, I'm going to ask you, if you can, to stand up and give the board a quick 10-second overview of what they can expect to find at the Brunswick Square Mall this Saturday, the 22nd.
10 seconds.
That's it.
We're going to have giveaways for everyone. It's going to be an educational component. It's going to demonstrate and showcase all county's emergency response vehicles. It's going to be a real informative event. We're hoping children get there, adults, we're going to be able to interact with our first responders, ask them questions, and it should be a great event.
It is. We have hot dogs, popcorn, fire hats, coloring books, a lot of giveaways for the kids. But most importantly, we'll have all of our equipment there. The equipment, obviously, the taxpayers in Middlesex County help provide, and they'll be able to see what it is and where it goes and how we use it. So, again, we hope members of the board and certainly the public are available. Thank you, Director.
Thank you, Fielder. Fielder Charlie Tamara.
Thank you, Freeholder Director. Our Cultural and Heritage Commission, the Lodge and American Indian Center, which is located in Thompson Park on 1701 Primeville Road in Jamesburg. A window of ending traditions. Saturday, September 22nd at 2012 at 2 p.m., which is this Saturday. We'll be very busy this Saturday. An Ecuadorian born magician, Pete Santana, will demonstrate a variety of native wind, string, and percussion instruments to the audience, and the audience is invited to participate. This is free of charge. I hope you had an opportunity this weekend to read the Star Ledger, and it spoke about the history that was found in the Perth Amboy Library in the basement. They had a book written by our staff historians of the Middlesex County Cultural and Heritage Commission. I'd like to commend Anna Adiskis and the Cultural Heritage Commission for their hard work and thank them for making this important part of American history a collection of approximately 100 primary documents dating back to 1766 available to all our residents. The Lost History of Perth Amboy was made possible through a grant from the New Jersey Historical Commission and is offered free of charge. And if you'd like a copy, please call the Middlesex County Cultural and Heritage Commission at 732-745-4489. Once again, I'd like to announce that our workforce development will be having a job fair. I announced it at our last Freeholder meeting on Thursday, September 27th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Carteret Community Center at 100 Cook Avenue. Employers can contact the number at 732-745-3970, and this is a great opportunity because our ones in the past have been very successful for people who are underemployed or unemployed, working for employment. Also on Saturday, September 29th, the Joseph Medwid Park in Carteret will have a grand opening, and it's a beautiful park with an all-purpose field and a tot lot and walking trail. So it's the county helped support this financially. And as Jim said, the Middlesex Greenway the ribbon was cut this Saturday. I want to thank all my colleagues on the Freeholder board. And now the president and former who worked to get this trail accomplished. It's a great addition and a really beautiful trail for the people who live in Metuchen, Edison, and Woodbridge, and of course Middlesex County. Last time I spoke, and I want to announce it again because I'm so proud of this, is that the Perth Amboy Voc Tech received the blue ribbon from the federal government. There was there's 21,000, almost 22,000 schools that were competing against this, and only 271 received this recognition. So it's such a great honor for one of our schools in our county VOTEC system to be able to receive this honor. And also want to thank Jim for his initiative, especially for the move aside, because that's such a great initiative, and to be able to get it into all the restaurants where the kids can color and make their parents pay attention. Maybe they'll be saying in the back seat, move. And one last thing is, as I didn't say the last time, and they lost, go Giants.
Thanks, Freeholder. Freeholder Blanquita Valente.
Thank you, Freeholder Director. Today I had the honor to attend a SOAR Committee Technical Assistance Initiative, and this is sponsored by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, in collaboration with the Social Security Administration. This is a program designated to develop a realistic action plan to replicate SOAR, S-O-A-R, at the state, county, community level and bring stakeholders together and increase the access to SSI, SSDI for people experienced or at risk for homelessness. It was quite well attended and very informative, and I'm very glad that we participated in our county on this event. From the Office of Human Services, the transfer of information and referral services from InfoLine to New Jersey 211 Inc. has been very smooth. During August, the first month of full service under the New Jersey 211 partnership, they assisted 744 callers from Middlesex County. The greatest proportion of calls were regarding housing and financial assistance, and the highest volume of callers did come from New Brunswick, Perth Amboy, and Edison. Our Veterans Outreach Project has continued to be very well received in the community. The two-day event held on September 14th and 15th at Woodbridge Center more enabled 26 veterans to easily meet with our staff and volunteers to discuss numerous veteran programs. And the next outreach event is planned for October 19th and 20th at Menlo Park Mall during the hours of noon at 7 p.m. The state of New Jersey is recommending the Middlesex County Children's Services Title V project for the Connie Strand Excellence Recognition Award. Congratulations to Melissa Lewis, Wanda Dillon, and their staff for this honor. The Title V, or Power Up project, supports after-school and prevention programming aimed at reducing delinquency by providing healthy and nurturing alternatives for juveniles. The initiative targets 3rd to 5th graders to offer more effective prevention services before the crucial transition to middle school. Our office partners with the Behavioral Research and Training Institute at UMDNJ to support development and expansion of the program. Years ago, we were looking at prevention programs for kids in the higher grades. Now it's all the way down to 3rd to 5th graders. It's really kind of sad that, but good that we are offering effective prevention. From the Office of Aging Disabled Services, yesterday, Freeholder Tamara and I attended the 8th annual Middlesex County Senior Health and Fitness Walk at Roosevelt Park, organized by the office. We were blessed with perfect weather and had almost 600 participants come out to walk, obtain free health screening, and gather relevant information. It was incredible how many seniors were there and very able to walk and keep going. A special thanks goes to Ralph and the county park staff for all their help with the event, as well as the senior centers for providing the transportation, and Rutgers Aging and Exercise class for their student energy and distributing healthy aging facts. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Freeholder. Mr. Kelso, resolutions to be added.
Yes, Freeholder Director, we have 3 resolutions proposed for addition. The first would be to authorize the purchase of routers and switches as required by the Middlesex County Office of Information Technology from Blue Water Communications in a total amount of $65,104.28 in accordance with New Jersey State Contract Number 73979, which expires September 30th, 2012, and that is proposed as Resolution 12-1754. The second resolution would be to authorize execution of a professional services agreement with Solon Karakoglu for services to be provided at the Office of Transportation for the period of October 1st, 2012 through March 31st, 2013, in the amount of $43,500, and that would be added as Resolution 12-1755. And finally, to authorize the execution of a developer's agreement with Senwood Associates of Woodbridge, New Jersey, regarding replacing 2 existing identification signs in the Township of Woodbridge, Middlesex County, New Jersey, which would be added as Resolution 12-1756.
I need a motion to add to the consent agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes. Resolutions to be amended.
There are none.
Resolutions to be held.
There are none.
Resolutions to be voided.
There are none.
At this point in time, I'd like to open up for public discussion any resolutions that are on the agenda. Any public discussion on agenda items? Yes, sir. Remember there's a 5-minute rule?
Yeah. One thing you have taught me is how to tell time. Roger Daly, 103 Farms Road Circle, Republican candidate for Freeholder. Good evening, Freeholders. I would like to I have a few questions for the Resolution 121716, which is improvement of a settlement agreement in matter of the County of Middlesex versus a series, it looks like insurance companies, and it's docket number 661410. I guess I filed a request for records, but I was advised that there really is no written settlement agreement at this particular point.
Let me clarify that for you, Mr.
Sure.
Daly. There is a settlement agreement that's in substantial form. It's still going through final attorney review, not only by my office, but also by the 7 counsel who represent the 7 insurance companies. Our resolutions provide for approval of a settlement agreement or any agreement in substantial form, subject to my final sign-off at the county counsel's office. It's based upon a settlement that the Freeholders approved in closed session going back approximately 6 or 8 weeks ago. But the agreement itself is in substantial form. Your request for the document will be honored when it's finalized, which under open...
But how would the public, Mr. Kelso, how does the public know what you guys are voting on? I mean, like let's say I have a question, what was the nature of the litigation?
Well, that's the question. I'll answer that.
Okay.
Is that your question?
Sure.
The litigation involved an action that was brought by the county against 7 separate insurance carriers who were the carriers who represented the county as excess coverage for our liability claims. We filed an action.
I don't want to interrupt you, but what's the liability? What was the liability claim?
In 2010, the county settled litigation with 2 sheriff's officers, which our claim, once we paid that, we had claims against the excess carriers for them to participate in the payment of those settlements. We then filed an action.
Well, how much were the settlements for the sheriff's office?
The sheriff's officers' settlements were a total of $1,590,000.
So $1.5 million to the
Yes.
2 sheriff's officers?
Yes.
Okay. So then were these insurance companies parties at that particular time?
They were not parties at the time. They provided excess coverage for the county. Each of those policies, as I'm sure you're aware, have what we call the SIR provisions, which are essentially deductibles, and the nature of claims that were made by those sheriff's officers were over a period of years, so there were different carriers that were involved. This litigation provides for a reimbursement of the county in the total amount of $845,000. So as a result of this litigation, the county taxpayers are getting reimbursed $845,000.
Who was the attorney of record for the county?
The firm that represented the county is a specialist in insurance coverage matters. It's a firm, the name is Sapiro and Croyland. They're in North Jersey, and the attorney who handled this specifically for the county was an attorney by the name of Victoria Peckerman.
And how much did how much did it cost the county to retain that firm?
The firm's billings, which are essentially completed, are approximately $145,000.
So $145,000, and so the county now tonight's going to be voting, the Freeholders are going to be voting to approve a settlement with these insurance companies for about $845,000.
Exactly $845,000, yes.
Were there any other attorneys involved in that retained by the Freeholders?
For this litigation, no. Other than being monitored by my office, the county counsel's office.
All right, then I guess I'm still troubled by the fact that I'm not. I think before the Freeholders should really vote on this, they should really see the final, the final agreement.
As I said, Mr. Daly, and I think you as an attorney are pretty familiar with this, in all public types of actions such as this, most agreements, documents are approved in substantial form. It's common in the industry. My responsibility as county counsel is if there is a provision that is of consequence that has not been reviewed by the Freeholders, which they were reviewed in closed session.
Time.
If there is a change, then my duty is to bring it back to the Freeholders. My responsibility as county counsel is to determine whether or not there is a significant provision or not. In this case, this document, the provisions that are being still reviewed are things such as default language, notice provisions, nothing substantial that the Freeholders would not expect me to review and finalize. The terms of the settlement, the business terms, were already approved by the Freeholders weeks ago.
Thank you, Mr. Dale. Anybody else in the public on any agenda item or items?
Motion to close the public portion?
A motion by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Items to be removed from consent agenda and voted on separately. Any Freeholder have items to be voted on separately?
I do, Freeholder Director, 1721, Resolution 1721.
Okay.
That's it.
Anybody else? I have two, 1735 and 1736.
Yes, Freeholder Director, then a motion would be in order to adopt a consent agenda consisting of resolution numbers 12-1713 through 12-1756, excluding resolutions 12-1721, 12-1735, and 12-1736 to be voted upon separately.
I need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes.
And now, Freeholder Director, be appropriate to consider the resolution excluded by Freeholder Tamaro, and that would be Resolution 12-1721.
I need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Polos. Roll call.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro?
Present not voting?
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes.
And finally, it would be appropriate to consider the two resolutions excluded by the Director. They are Resolutions 12-1735 and 12-1736.
Need a motion?
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Present not voting. Okay, at this point in time, I'd like to open the meeting up to the public on any item. Anyone from the public wish to speak on any item?
Roger Daly, 103 Farms Road Circle, candidate for Republican candidate for Freeholder. I was just that last vote. What do you? When there are only how many Freeholders are here tonight? Four. I thought one person said they couldn't vote. Another person didn't vote. How many votes do you need to actually approve a resolution?
You need a majority of the votes present.
Majority of the voters present?
Yes, there is a quorum with 4, and each of the resolutions were approved
that were excluded by 3-0 vote.
All right. Okay. I would like to revisit a couple of questions that I had posed to the Freeholder Board about starting with the Improvement Authority. The last time I was here, I had questioned the Freeholder Board about the situation currently existing in the Improvement Authority, about the very questionable activities regarding purchases, and also the more alarming things about the bonuses that were being paid to some of the executives out at the Improvement Authority. My question was that was this board going to take some type of action? And as much as I know the board has in fact delegated authority to the Improvement Authority, but nonetheless still has responsibility to oversight. You have a liaison, and my question was, what is this Freeholder Board going to do as a result of the state auditors pointing out some pretty issues that have a lot of concern about purchasing and about excessive spending, especially related to the to the bonuses? Is the board going to take some kind of position? They're going to take some remedial action, or perhaps the board approves of that behavior?
Yeah, Mr. Daly, the way it works is the Improvement Authority has 90 days in which to respond to the recommendations that were provided in the state report. We have not seen the response to those, at least the board has not seen the response to those recommendations from the Improvement Authority, and once we do, we'll take the appropriate action once we have those.
Well, you don't think it's that the Freeholder Board should take a position and give some input while they're formulating their response? Wouldn't want to be positioned to tell the Freeholder Board what to do, but these are serious questions that are raised. So why doesn't the Freeholder Board come out and give some direction? I know you can't tell them what to do, but you do have appointment power. You appoint the commissioners. Why? I don't think the Freeholder Board should be waiting around to see what they're going to do. Obviously, they have not been doing some of the things that they should have been doing, and give them some direction. This is the controlling board. This Freeholder Board controls the authorities, at least in terms of their appointive power and oversight. I think the Freeholder Board should be giving some direction rather than waiting and reacting to their response.
No, I disagree. I'm sorry, Mr. Daly, but I think the better course of action is to hear from them what their rationale was behind what they did and how they're going to respond. Once we get that, then we can formulate a response.
Well, all right. And the second item that I've been trying to persuade the Freeholder Board has to do with the political action committees. I've on a number of occasions I have requested that the freeholders stop awarding contracts to the vendors that have contributed millions of dollars to these political action committees, which is very clear to me are really circumventing the pay-to-play. And are the freeholders going to develop a different methodology to award these contracts? You have some talented department heads that I think could develop some creative methods that would take away these political action committees, take away these contributions, which are just really adding to the tax burden in the county. Is there, or is the Freeholder Board just going to continue to accept these donations?
Mr. Daly, this Freeholder Board fully complies with the New Jersey election laws.
Yeah, I understand that, but at some point, that this board should set a little higher standard. It's clear that these political action committees have been created it's an end run. It's an end run, and I just asked this Freeholder Board to set a higher standard so the taxpayers pay a little less money. Thank you, Freeholder Director.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public on any item?
Move to close the public portion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Tamara, second by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, second by Freeholder Tamara. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.